All right, another Nerdy Virgin podcast, and freaking out about the headaches I'm getting. As soon as my dentist filled a cavity, every now and then I'll get these headaches. I'll feel them in the like right behind the eye. Did I mention this is a comedy podcast? So I'm now freaking out about it. And here's the good news about that. If this is what I'm freaking out about, these mild headaches that happen, that are probably more to do with, eye strain and allergies. But the voice in my head going, but what if it's a brain tumor? That's what I'm freaking out about. But if I'm worried about this, it means that there's stability to a degree in the rest of my life. So this is the closest I'm going to get to feeling joy, this state of mind. That's what I often try to explain to people. And I also have this obsessive compulsive belief that if I vocalize what I'm worried about, then that will manifest it not happening. As if God is up there going, oh, he expressed his fears verbally? Okay, well then, that satisfies me. I just need to know that he can communicate how he feels about his fears, and I am now satiated, because that is apparently how the universe works. So, we're dealing with that. I realized that I don't want to be the guy who ends up talking somebody else's ear off. And I'm really afraid that's where it's headed. Like, I found myself having conversations, and I found myself, somebody was asking me about, where you from originally, and how'd you get into stand-up? And I was telling him about it, and I was like, I've had this conversation before. I've used these exact same words. I don't have to. I could make this a lot simpler than it is. Like, I'm going on and on about it, and I thought to myself, for the sake of this gentleman, he's asking, and I know, I understand that he's interested, but he doesn't need the full story. We could Cliff Notes this. What am I doing? And that's when I thought to myself, am I telling you this because it's very pertinent that you know all the details, or am I telling you this because I don't have a kid? Is that what's going on? I don't have a family. That's why I'm telling you this. That's why there shouldn't be time for me to tell you this. I should be having to get back and help take the kid to soccer practice. That's where I should be in my life, and I'm not there. I should not be at the point where I'm just eagerly awaiting Ahsoka like all the other 14-year-olds who are into Star Wars. And I say other 14-year-olds because mentally that's where I feel like I am. I'm 41. Mentally I feel like I'm 14. Physically I feel like I'm 90. It's awful. Glad I got that off my chest. Worried about the high cholesterol. Hasn't been great for the diet this week. A couple of pizzas. Spaghetti. Not enough green leafy vegetables. Ooh. I should probably just start taking the statins. Let's call it. Well, you can regulate it with diet and exercise. Give me the statins. Just, the reality is I probably need the statins and the diet and the exercise. That's what's happening. That's where we're at. I feel good getting the exercise, though. Nice weather we're having in Burbank. Usually it's 100 degrees, but it's actually very nice. Balmy 75. Cooling down at night. It's delightful. I mean, I think, that when that quote-unquote hurricane came through, Hillary, a week ago, 2 or 3 days leading up to it, the weather changed. And then, 2 or 3 days afterwards, and of course there was, the raining for 2 days, but then afterwards it was changed. I think that storm knocked out a week of where it would have been 100 degrees. It was one less week of hot weather. Because usually in Burbank, should I mention this is a comedy podcast? Usually in Burbank, August and September are hot. So it's, 8 weeks of hot weather. So that knocked off. Now we're down to 7 weeks. And then they're saying this is an El Nino year. Who knows what that's going to do? Here's my realization. Like I said at the beginning of this, I don't want to be the guy who talks your ear off. And maybe I finally understand why I need to do what I'm doing. It's better for me to podcast it than to not podcast it. Because in real life, if I'm talking somebody's ear off, they're stuck. But if it's in the podcast, they can A, not listen to it, or B, fast forward. This podcast, it's a public service. The only one who has to hear it, I guess, are the computers who store it. So wherever this is stored, is it Amazon Web Services? I apologize. This is going to be shoved in your memory banks. No wonder there's about to be an AI revolution. All right, this feels somewhat productive. I do want to tape another 20 minutes, or maybe another 30 minutes in November in the Yoo-Hoo Room. That's my goal. That's my plan. I want to do that. I want to tape that. I want to get that done. So the primary purpose of this is I need to generate material for that. And I don't want to, and the fear, by the way, when I say that, is that the universe will go, oh, you want some more material? Okay, more tragedy. We'll kill another person close to him. And that is not what I'm asking for. Let's maybe try to do, or, give him a terminal illness or something. Let's generate material with enough of the problems that I already have. That's really my goal for this time around. And the question is, can I come up with a really solid 20 minutes and film it, chop it into pieces, put it on the social media, get it out there? I think the other question is, what are the video? I still don't know what I should be posting every day, and why do I feel like I have a better idea when I tell other people, and I can't apply my own advice? I mean, I've been posting these videos where I talk about Star Trek, but I don't know. Does the world need that? Well, by the view counts, I can tell that it's, best case scenario, 1,000 people need it, and that's about it. All about going viral, All about going viral. Which I have no idea how to do. Maybe I'm not viral, Maybe best case scenario, it's a small following of fellow neurotics. It could be. That could be something. But then the real question is, well, what kind of content do I want to do? What am I passionate about? What is my passion? What is my passion? Making money is my passion. Making money from my passion is my passion. But the problem is that's empty. It's circular. That's the issue. What does it tell you that, for me, a victory is I ate a bowl of pasta and 2 waffles, and the next day I didn't have severe bowel distress? Like a lot of gas, but I've had worse. That shouldn't be the victory of the week, you know what I mean? But I think the other thing is just managing my constant depression. Well, and then I listened to I watched a little video where somebody was explaining the difference between sadness and depression, and that sadness is, if I recall the video correctly, sadness has more to do with, not getting what you want, or, external stimulus, versus depression, which is much more out of the person's control. That's what I kind of got from it. Or that the idea of depression be like the person is so depressed they just can't function and they shut down. And my question is, I don't think I have the out of control depression, but if every single day I'm not where I want to be in my life, and there's constant sadness, at some point, should we round up and call it depression? If just every day is, waking up saying, I hope this happens, and it doesn't. I hope this headache is nothing. It's much better now, by the way. But it still feels like there's something weird going on with the sinuses. I don't like it. I don't like it. Then what I'm doing, though, is am I mitigating my own depression by saying, oh, well, other people have it worse? And the answer is yes. I think what I hate more than anything is when I want to be creative, but I feel depressed, and the depression and the, you know what? Actually, wait a minute. It's not even depression. It's, I want to be creative, but I feel blank. Yes, blank. It's the blankness. It's the not knowing what to work on, or not knowing what to write about. And I find that, the answer there is I just have to keep myself, I have to fill the cup, as my theater professor would say. More stimulus, more, read something, go out and do something. I do need to get out more. I'm trying to get out more. Here's the thing. I Googled nerdy things to do in Burbank, and some guy had built this set. It's a generic science fiction space station interior set that you can rent. And I thought to myself, I want to rent that. I want to rent that, and I want to make TikTok videos in there. That's what I want to do. I want to rent it and make TikTok videos. And I found out, though, that the set was gone because they sold the building. So he's in the process of rebuilding it, but it's not currently available. That was the closest I got to getting out of my apartment this week. That was the closest I got to getting out of my apartment this week. Oh, there's dogs barking. We're encroaching on nature, so nature's entering the suburbs where I live. And so they've got the dog barking. We've got crickets. I may run into the coyotes. I've had a few run-ins with them. Not serious, but, one potential near skirmish where they were chasing a cat and I tried to, fend them off. And they really didn't react to me. And they continued to chase the cat. So hopefully the cat looked at me and went, "Oh, I'm on my own." That's what's happening here. No salvation here whatsoever. But, so that's what's going on. How are we doing? 15 minutes? Yeah, this feels like a good place to wrap it up. Should I do more sketches? I'll go through this. I watched Spaceballs and I was inspired. That was the movie that really inspired me to be where I'm at right now. Spaceballs. And so I was inspired, to do more parodies. And then I made some videos on TikTok that were more sketchy. And then a day later I went back and I watched them and I went, I don't know. That was a Jeep that just passed by, in case you're wondering. I'll never own a Jeep. All I have in my mind when I think of a Jeep is I remember my mom saying, "Oh, they roll easily." And that was it. I like the idea of a Jeep. Just if I needed to, I could rescue someone in Jurassic Park if I needed to. But when is that ever going to be an issue with me? Of course, as soon as I say that, is God going to go, "Oh, we'll make it happen." There are people who use the Jeep the way the Jeep was intended to go have adventures off-roading, et cetera, and then there are people who don't. And I would be somebody who the Jeep would be depressed if I owned the Jeep. The Jeep would be like, "Are we Ralph's again? Great. What an adventure." Be like hiring Indiana Jones to do your dry cleaning, Not, by the way, I want to be clear about this. I'm not insulting the good people who do dry cleaners. The good people who dry clean. It's an important thing, okay? It is. But I think we can universally agree, do I or does a dry cleaner need a Jurassic Park Jeep? Probably not. The dry cleaner, if anything, would need more of a van, I would think, or something that could transport a lot of clothes. Jeep may not be the best for that. And I think even they would admit that. So I just want to make it clear. I don't want to get canceled by big dry cleaning. Well, good. And by the way, legitimately, I'm terrified now that I may have said something offensive. I should have ended this podcast earlier, but I didn't, and now I'm freaked out. So you got to hear me freak myself out. No one is around. I just really farted. I should have ended this 5 minutes ago. I should have ended it 5 minutes ago. But on the other hand, maybe the really wonderful stuff. I wonder if the fart got picked up. These iPhones, the mics on these iPhones are getting so good. I picked it up. I'm not sure. That was from the spaghetti from yesterday. All right, I need to stop now before it gets really crazy.